Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome to Banning, Panning and Beyond. I decided I was going to do a quarterly check-in. It's going to cover pretty much the last 3 months rather than just specifically last month. And it's hard to believe that I'm already like a quarter of the way through my no-buy year. So it's gone really quickly, and I haven't made any notes for this video. I just thought I'd talk off the cuff and see what comes up. So I think the main thing that I wanted to touch on was just mainly how my attitude has changed in regards to buying stuff since this no-buy started, and you know, everything that's going on at the moment in the world with COVID-19, everybody's struggling. You know, I'm seeing a lot of posts on Instagram with people's spending impulses are out of control, and a lot of people are actually following through. I'm seeing people that are breaking their no-buys just through the stress, and you know, I originally thought with me not working sort of full-time anymore, I only work part-time, and I work from home, and I don't have a large income, so it was a really good time for me to go on a no-buy. And you know, I still do have my budget, so I'm still getting a taste for the odd little package coming in with replacements and things like that. But I think just it was such good timing for me to start my no-buy with my change in employment. And I did contemplate possibly going back to work this year, but I've really enjoyed being at home, and so it's something my husband and I have been working on, just making sure that we stay on top of everything, and that I can remain working from home the way that I do, and that I don't have to go out trying to pick up extra hours. And with everything that's now happened, and so many people out of work, you know, the chances of me getting a job would be, you know, almost impossible. So I'm more grateful than ever that I have put myself on this no-buy, that I'm, you know, because anybody who's looked at my beauty room tour, or even my most recent update of my cataloguing my collection, you would see just how out of control my spending has been the last 5 years. And and I guess now, after seeing how everybody else's, not everybody, you know, I mean, that's a very broad statement, but a lot of people have been reacting to the pandemic, just with the overspending, that I am not feeling that impulse. It hasn't affected me that way. So I guess it's a good sign for me that that my way of thinking has changed dramatically in such a short period of time, because you know, going back to halfway through last year, you know, I was not ready to go on a no-buy. I really would have struggled, and it did take me that long to actually commit. Like, it took me a good 5-6 months to gear myself up and get myself in the right frame of mind to do that. And I've said before, you know, it was the main reason that I wanted to do it originally was not a financial motivation. It was more to do with the fact that I wasn't getting a chance to use the stuff that I already owned, and I had more of a collector mentality, and makeup expires, so it needs to be used, and I was just buying at a rate that was faster than what I could use the makeup, that you know, like I had stuff coming in quicker than what I was using it, you know. And I have seen like so many palettes online, people reviewing them, using them, and it's really sort of driven it home for me that I really was not thinking straight, and I wasn't thinking about the amount of money that I was spending, and it was all fun and games, but I'm just, I don't know, I think I was dealing with things on an intellectual level, but I really wasn't sort of dealing with it like in here, you know, like I wasn't dealing with it emotionally. And now I think that I'm much more aware, and it really has sort of reminded me that I do have way more than I should have, more than I'll ever need. And even though I knew it, I wasn't really believing it, you know. And now, like I said, I've seen all these palettes online, and it's like, you know, oh, I have that, but I haven't used it. And it's actually a lot worse than what I first thought. I knew that I had stuff in my collection that I hadn't touched yet, but to constantly have to see stuff and admit to myself, I have that, I haven't used it, made me realize just how ridiculous it was, and how much money I was spending, how many things that I was actually collecting. And yeah, and I was collecting for the wrong reasons. It was just collecting for the sake of collecting and not actually using things. So and I think that yeah, I was always sort of more focused on the new stuff, and losing sight of what I already owned. I was losing the motivation to actually use it. So it was, yeah, I was not buying it for the right reasons. So I've probably repeated myself 10 times over. It's because I'm just sort of drumming it in to my own mind. So I am really happy now that I'm starting to use up what I've got, and I have been participating in heaps of challenges, and finally starting to touch stuff for the first time, to dip into it, to use it, and it feels really good. So I'm actually finally starting to enjoy my collection, and trying not to get overwhelmed by the realization of just how much untouched stuff that I've got. And for anyone that guessed just how much my collection is worth so far, all I'm going to say is that none of you guys got anywhere near what the actual replacement value is actually worth. And I was shocked myself. It's well over what I thought my total collection would come to in the end, and I've still barely scratched the surface. So that does not make me feel good, but I'm trying to not dwell on it. What's done is done, and I need to move forward, and I'm just trying to really focus on the makeup that I've got, and just use it and enjoy it. And I can't change the past, so yeah, all I can look forward to is a new mindset moving forward. And you know, I'm not saying that I don't still see stuff online that I like, that I want to buy. I do, and in the past, if it hadn't been on a no buy, I wouldn't have hesitated, and I would have just bought it. Considering the economic circumstances and my financial situation now, I would have really struggled if I wasn't on the no buy. I think I would have really wanted it. I probably wouldn't have bought it, but it would have really bothered me. And I think that was the one thing that really stopped me from starting a no buy earlier, was that fear of missing out. So I don't have that now. If it's actually I can see something, appreciate it, think, okay, maybe I will get it next year. Sorry, my battery's going flat, so I'm just going to flick it on. There we go. So yeah, it's there's a new feeling that's replaced that fear, and it's actually that sense of not wanting new stuff. Like, I like it, but I don't want it, and that's because I simply just do not want to be overwhelmed anymore with any new stuff where I feel guilty about buying it, putting it aside, and not touching it. And like, even with the Valentine's Day present that I got from my husband, like, some of the stuff that he bought me I haven't used yet. So you know, I'm really thinking twice about, do I want to continue to even get any items from my wish list for the rest of the year. There are other things that I want, and you know, it may get to a point where we stop buying gifts completely. I don't know what's going to happen with the jobs of my family members. People just may not be in a position anymore to be buying gifts, and it would probably be wise right now to actually put all of that on hold for this year anyway. I haven't discussed that with my family, but that's the sort of things that are in the back of my mind, rather than just spending money when you've got it, thinking about you know, where you might be in a couple of months' time, even, you know, just you just never know from one day to the next whether you're going to be employed or not. And it's really made me appreciate the fact that in spite of my spending habits in the past, that I've also saved money. So we do have money behind us for a period of time that will get us through this sort of difficult time if we do find ourselves fully unemployed. So that is a really good thing, and definitely is making me appreciate not only having an income coming in, but the fact that we have savings. So I really can, in good conscience, buy things that I really don't need. So, you know, and I guess then you've got to define, do you actually really need it? Can you make do without it? Just because you can buy it, should you? You know, like for example, I bought you know, the lash and brow serums. I think it might have been in the start of February. You know, like, okay, I didn't have them. I didn't have anything like that, so the category was empty, and there was you know, so technically, you know, I could buy it, but did I really need to? Has it really improved my quality of life? You know, it hasn't. Do I enjoy it? Yes. I'm hoping that they will work. I haven't been using them for a really long period of time yet, but you know, even if they do work, come time, you know, to replace those items, I probably won't. So it's just something to think about. So yeah, so I definitely see that my mindset has changed, my appreciation of my situation has changed, just my whole thought process. You know, it's still early days though, and you know, things can happen. Things are bad right now, but they could get worse. So, and I don't just mean that with COVID-19 either. Just, you know, in life, things can go wrong. You know, sad to say that my uncle that I did the video for, sorry, I try not to cry. He's in his last stages of cancer. So, you know, life can get pretty shitty. Sorry, I didn't mean to cry. But anyway, I'm trying not to focus on it, and I'm sorry if it upsets anybody watching.
But yeah, sorry. So yeah, I'm really trying to just keep myself busy and distract myself, I guess. And anyway, sorry, I think it's time for me to end this video, and yeah, I'll be back again soon, and hopefully I've got my emotions under control. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Hey guys, wow, so I really wasn't expecting that, and I'm sure neither were you, so I just wanted to come back on quickly and apologise and let you know that I'm going to, rather than try and finish this video off, I'm just going to give myself a couple of days break, and I will post it in 2 parts. So I will yeah, be back with my next video, which will be like a part 2 of this one, and yeah, and I'll just post that according to my normal schedule. So okay, I'll catch us again soon. Bye.